Anyong! So magandang araw sa inyong lahat. So again, welcome to this day that we are about to discuss yung how to compute the present value factors. As you all know in your various accounting subjects, especially for the intermediate accounting, you need to know how to compute for the present value factors so that you will determine either the costs o kaya naman yung even the amortized cost of various assets and even liabilities. Okay, so for today, we will focus on the computation of the present value factors. Okay, so let's start our discussion. Okay, so bago tayo mag-proceed sa computation ng present value factors, okay, so let's just have a short distinction between a future value and a present value. Okay, so pag sinabi po natin future value, okay, it is something that we are referring to the cash inflow or outflow of particular entity, okay, at the end of a project's life. Okay, so it is more on the ending time, okay, or the term, okay, or the end point of a particular series of years, that we are either incurring some outflows or even receiving some inflows. Okay, and take note that when we talk about future cash flows, it refers to a cash that you will receive, okay, at a given future date. Okay, so let's say, for example, after 5 years, you will be expecting to receive 1 million pesos, then that's the future value, okay, the 1 million peso. While when we talk about the present value, okay, this refers to the cash flow, whether inflow or outflow, okay, at the start of the project life, okay, which is at time zero. Okay, so this is technically referring to the value of your money, okay, today. Okay, so why is it important for us to determine the value of our money today, especially that we are talking about here the present value factors? It's because of the fact that some of our assets or even liabilities, okay, should be initially recognized, okay, based on its present value of future cash flows. Okay, so that's why we need to determine pag ni-record natin siya ngayon, magkano yung value na i-record natin ngayon. Okay, because the value today, okay, which is the present value, will be different from the value in the future, which is referring naman doon sa ating future value. Okay, so to explain further ito pang future value and present value differences, okay, so let me give you this particular timeline. Okay, halimbawa, now this is the timeline of a 6-year period, okay, wherein you're gonna be investing at the same time receiving some certain amount. Okay, so you have various outflows and even inflow of cash. Actually, isa lang pala yung outflow dito, which is on the year 0. Okay, and then you have the various inflows na on the succeeding years. Okay, so when we talk about future value, okay, so ganyan yung mangyayari. So yung value that you have invested, okay, o kaya naman yung value na give up mo, your outflow, and even the value of the money that you have received today, okay, will be computed, okay, to arrive on our future value. And that particular process is known as compounding. Okay, so pag sinabi natin compounding, your money, okay, at one period, okay, of course, it will bear interests. And then after a certain period of time, it will again bear interest and interest and interest. So that's compounding until you reach the future value, no? And also, no, aside from that, we have to talk about the present value naman. So as mentioned a while ago, the present value is the value at the date 0. Okay, so as you can see, the range of the various amounts, okay, in the different years would be computed, okay, backwards, okay, para ma-compute natin magkano ba yung value niya at this point, at point 0. Okay, and the process naman po nung pagko-compute ng value, nung mga various years, of course, halimbawa yung 6 year, malayo siya compared with the year 0. So of course, magkaiba yung value nun, and how do we compute for that particular amount of the present value? And that is known naman po as discounting. Okay? So, yan po yung ating some sort of distinction between the present value as well as the future value natin. Okay? So, in this particular discussion, of course, we are talking about present value. Okay? So, we will be using the present value factor, no, na i-discuss natin mamaya in the process of discounting, determining the value of your money, okay, at that reference date, which is 0.0. Okay, so if you have questions, you can comment your questions doon sa ating comment box. Okay. So it is important as well to know, aside from the present value factor, okay, some sort of cash flow patterns. Okay, kasi nakadepende sa cash flow pattern kung ano yung gagamitin natin na present value factor, okay, in computing the present value. Okay, so we have actually various patterns for cash flow. We have 3, no, to be discussed. One would be single amount or lump sum. So pag sinabi po natin single amount or lump sum, okay, it's either you received or pay a money, okay, at one point lang. Okay, it's either at the end of the period. Okay, so it is example ng particular cash flow wherein you are just going to give up or to receive at one point lang. Okay, so hindi siya yung every period you are going to receive cash flows or even you are going to pay cash. Okay, but rather it is either at the end of the period or at the beginning of a period, na depending upon the situation. But the point there is that it is more on the lump sum. Okay, so one period of time lang. Okay, so are we clear on that? So let's say, for example, after 3 years, no, you will be receiving the money, okay, of 1 million peso. Then that is considered as a single amount since you are just going to expect to receive it at the end of the 3rd year. Okay, so are we clear on that? So that's one time, no, single amount or lump sum, yung terminology for that cash flow pattern. However, if your cash flow pattern, okay, will be received or will be paid, no, at the end of one period and another period and another period or various periods, okay, so dyan na po papasok ngayon si annuity. Okay, so let's say for example you will be receiving worth 30,000 every year, okay, every year, and when we talk about annuity, it should be on equal amount. Okay, equal amount that you are going to receive or pay from one period to another period. Okay, so hindi lang siya yung basta-basta isang period mo lang may-receive or babayaran yung particular na item, okay, or there would be no single cash flow, but rather there would be series of cash flows. But take note, when we talk about annuity, it should be equal. Okay, so kung 50,000 yung first, then the rest of the succeeding years or months or even quarters, depending upon the situation, kasi pwede po yan na monthly, quarterly, or even semi-annually or at least annually, okay, dapat pare-parehas po yung value when we talk about annuity. Okay, are we clear on that? And in the cases naman wherein you are not going to receive it at a single time, okay, but it is not also equal. Okay, so every period you're going to pay or you're even going to receive certain amount of money, okay, but that amount is not equal per period, then ito naman po yung panghuling cash flow pattern wherein we have the mixed streams or even uneven, no, cash flows. Okay, so hindi po pare-parehas. Unlike with the annuity that you will be receiving or paying series of cash amounts, okay, but it should be of equal value. Okay, in the uneven cash flows, okay, kagaya nung nasa timeline kanina, as you have seen dun sa timeline kanina, di ba? Paiba-iba yung value from one period to another period, then that's considered as mixed streams. Okay, so are we clear on that? So these are the various cash flow patterns that you will encounter in your particular accounting subjects. Okay, and in this discussion, of course, we need to consider the pattern of our cash flow because it depends upon kung anong pattern, okay, yung meron tayo in computing the present value factor. Okay, so are we clear on that? All right, so let's try now to proceed with the various types of present value factors, since that's actually our content for this discussion. Okay, so the present value factors, depending upon the patterns as discussed to you a while ago, okay, would be dependent upon okay, either the present value of single payment natin or 1. Okay, so this present value factor is to be used whenever you have a single payment or even lump sum. Okay, kanina 'di ba we have the lump sum or single amount na cash flow pattern. And also, you can use the present value of single payment, okay, when you compute for the present value of mixed streams. Okay, so pwede siya sa dalawang cash flow pattern. Sa mixed streams or yung uneven cash flows at saka yung single payment. Okay, because you are going to compute only one period. Okay, kasi nga po kagaya dun sa single amount, okay, one period lang naman po yung ating cash flows and kapag uneven kasi hindi naman po pare-parehas. So we need to compute it based on the single amounts. Okay, while if it is referring to annuity, okay, yun na lang kasi yung kulang, 'di ba? Annuity, nakadepende sa annuity kung anong uri siya. Okay? And what would be the present value factor that we are about to compute? It's either the present value of an ordinary annuity. So we will be discussing that later. Okay? When we talk about ordinary annuity, pag sinabi po nating annuity, of course, equal payments or equal amount that we are going to receive. But when we talk about ordinary annuity, it refers to a cash flow at the end of one period and another period. Okay? While if it is referring naman doon sa beginning of the period that you are expecting to pay or receive a certain cash, okay, then you will use naman po the present value of an annuity due. Okay, so mamaya itong tatlong ito yung magiging focus natin in our discussion of the present value factors. Okay, so are we good on that? Again, if you have questions, please let me know. Okay, so I hope that you're still okay, and you are still listening on our discussion, and I hope you find this lecture helpful in your various classes. Okay, so let's start with the computation of the present value of a single payment or the present value of one or the present value of a lump sum amount. Okay, so as mentioned to you a while ago, this present value factor computation is being used, okay, whenever you need to compute the present value of a single payment or even a lump sum amount. So one time lang po yung outflow or even inflow or even pwede rin po itong gamitin doon sa ating mixed streams, okay, kasi iba-iba yung kanilang value. Okay, so this particular present value, you can use it kapag binasa mo yung problems mo, whether it is, example kasi na pwede nyo paggamitan nito would be on your receivables sa intermediate or even sa auditing, at saka ano pa ba, sa liabilities din, if there would be one period of time that you are expecting the cash inflow or outflow, or even if it is mixed stream, okay, yung particular cash flows. And in computing this, okay, we have various ways. Okay, it's either through the use of present value tables, okay, that you can find at the back of any intermediate accounting books or even other accounting books ninyo, okay, and even business finance books, okay. And you can compute using as well calculators. So sa calculator, nakadepende rin kasi whether you're going to use scientific calculators or even yung usual lang na calculator. So mamaya I will just show you how to use the tables and even the calculators then. Okay? So to discuss and to give you an example about the present value of a single payment. Okay, so let's have this problem on the next slide. Okay, don't worry, we will not be computing yung present value niya talaga, but rather the factor itself lang yung magiging focus natin on this lecture. Okay, so let's read the problem. Assume that on January 1, 2020, okay, Jungkook Limited sold a land at a cost of 450, okay, to Tay Company in exchange of 600,000 3-year non-interest bearing notes. So this is an example of a promissory note problem, okay, and non-interest bearing. It means that the face value of that promissory note contains already the interests. Okay? And the note is collectible on December 31, 2022. So ito na po yung nagtitrigger sa atin para masabi natin na this is a particular problem wherein we have a cash flow on a single payment. Kasi the collection will just only happen in one date, which is December 31, 2022. And from January 1, 2020, which is the initial date, okay, that's actually 3 years period yung ating waiting time. Okay, the market rate of interest for the note of similar risks at the date of issuance is 10%. So it is important, guys, in computing the present value factor, okay, to determine, okay, the interest rate to be used, okay, in computation. And usually, the interest rate to be used in most of the computations natin are the effective interest rate or yung tinatawag din natin na market rate or yield rate. Okay? So minsan, if there is no market effective rate ang nakalagay sa problem stated or nominal rate, we will assume that those are also the effective rate at the end of the reporting period or at the beginning of that particular period. Okay, that's why we will be using them in the computation of our present value factors. Okay, so in this case, again, the 10% will be our interest rate to be used in discounting. Okay, and the land has no available fair value at the date of sale. So madidiscuss nyo naman to actually on the topic of property, plant, and equipment. Okay, wherein pag may available fair value, the fair value will be used. But if there is none, then there would be a present value to be computed. Okay, so sa case na to, dahil walang fair value, then we need to compute for the present value factor in determining the present value of that note. Okay, kasi importante po yun. Now, I will just want to show you first how to check, okay, and derive the present value factor using the present value table that you can see in your various books or even online, you can see that. Pero of course, during your examination in face-to-face, hindi naman sa inyo bibigay yung table, but rather you will be computing using calculator. But let me just show you how to use the present value table. Okay, so this table, okay, is representing the present value factor of a single payment or PB of 1 that you can find at the end of the books. Okay, so sa taas po, this refers to the interest rates. Okay, so yung ibang mga books na makikita ninyo, madaming interest rates yan. Okay, so I've just chosen here some few interest rates, okay, that you can see. And then dito naman po, okay, you can find here the years naman, okay, or periods depending upon the timing ng cash flows natin. Okay, so what you need to do in determining the present value of the single payment is to find the coordinates nung interests. Okay, in our problem, the interest rate is 10%. Okay, and then ilang periods po yung ating mako-cover dito sa given problem kay Jungkook and Tay Company. Okay, so it is 3 years. So hahanapin nyo ngayon yung coordinates, okay, nito, okay, using those factors, no, the 10% interest rate and the 3-year period. So kung makikita ninyo, the coordinate would fall under the present value factor, which is 0.7513. Okay, and actually that is already your present value factor, okay, in computing the present value. Okay, so are we clear on that? Ganun lang siya kadali if you are going to use the present value table. Okay, are we clear on that? All right, very good. Okay, so kung gusto mo malaman magkano yung present value ng 600 na ini-expect mo at December 31, 2022, so just simply multiply the 600,000, okay, with your present value factor na 0.7513. Okay? So magkano po kaya yon? Yung 600,000 times, you can use your calculator, ha? Sabayan niyo ako. So 600,000 times 0.7513. So that is actually 450,000. Okay, 780. Okay, so that is now your present value. Okay, but again, the present value factor is 0.7513. Sa ibang mga libro, they are using 5 decimal places or even 6 decimal places. So depende sa present value factor table na given sa inyo just in case kung ano man po yung gagamitin ninyo. And even your teacher can also give you instructions kung up to ilang decimal places lang yung i-consider ninyo in computation of the present value. Okay, so that's how we compute or derive the present value factor of single payment using the present value table. Okay, so are we clear on that? You just find the coordinates. Okay, so how about naman po using calculators? Okay, so the same problem, okay, naaalala ninyo, the present value factor is 0.7513. Okay, so titignan natin kung magiging same ba siya if we are going to compute the calculator. So I will be showing to you the scientific calculator, okay, method and even the usual calculator, okay, usage. Pero it's in the context of my calculators in the laptop, how you can have your own calculator. Hindi ko sure kung ikaw ay gumagamit ba ng scientific o kaya naman yung usual na calculator. So you can use that as well. Okay, so before we proceed in using the calculator, there is a formula, no, to be used in computing the present value factor for single payment. And that is, okay, the 1 plus I. Okay, the I here represents your interests. And in this case, of course, that should be 10% and raised to negative n. Okay, so I hope naman na nadaanan ninyo yung various algebraic formula and even mga terminologies na yan, okay, in your various mathematics subjects. So alam ko naman na alam nyo na exponent, diba? Okay, so 1 plus I raised to negative n. Okay, sir, bakit negative n? Okay, bakit negative? It's because we are computing for present value. So pag ginamit kasi natin yung negative, it means you're going to discount that certain interest rate or use that certain interest rate, okay, to discount a value. Okay, and the n represents the period. Okay, ilang periods po yung meron tayo, which is kanina in this problem we have 3 years. So the basic components again that you need in computing the present value factors, okay, would be the interest rates and interest rate, no, which is usually the effective interest or the market interests or similar interest rate, okay, in the market. Okay, and the period covered. So let's substitute. Okay, that would be 1 plus 0.1, or you can have 10% there. Okay, and then raised to negative 3, which is your 3-year period. Okay, so now let me show you how you compute it muna using the scientific calculator. So if you are using the scientific calculator, okay, then here's how it works. Okay, so this is just an example of the scientific calculator in my laptop. Okay, so you can have your own. Actually, mas madaming functions yung talagang scientific calculator. Okay, so first, no, what you need to do is to pindot, no, pindutin mo yung 1 plus 0.01 or 0.1, okay, which is 1.1, diba? So pindutin ko na po yung 1.1 or 1.10, okay, because that's the inside value of the parenthesis. Okay, you can add it directly. Alam ko naman, di ba, hindi mo na idadaan sa calculator yung 1 plus 0.1, di ba? So that's 1.1. Okay, and then you need to locate, no? Sa ibang calculator, ang makikita po ninyo is etong function ng x raised to y, which is representing the exponent. Okay, or sa ibang mga calculator, kung nakikita nyo po itong cursor na tinuturo ko, okay, so meron po tayong icon dito na yung raise, okay, so yung pataas, okay, na icon, as you can see, yun yung ibang calculator, no, yun yung nag-a-appear na function doon. So nakadepende, it's either yung x exponent y, or even yung naka-raise. Okay, so yun yung possible na mangyari dyan. Okay, and then you click 3 kasi di ba 3 yun? Okay, but since this is negative, so change it to negative 3. Okay, para ma-denote natin na negative 3. And here is now the result. Okay, panalangin natin na it should be 0.7513. Tignan natin. Okay, so I will click equal sign. Okay, and the value is ito. So this is the present value factor, okay, with so many decimal places, no? 0.751314800090, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so ganyan kahaba. No? Even in scientific calculators, medyo depende sa cycle ninyo kung up to ilang decimal places yung mag-a-appear. Okay, but the point here is if we get the 4 decimal places, you can get the 0.7513, which is actually, kung mapapansin ninyo, equal doon sa lumabas kanina in the present value table. Okay? So, usually take note na pwedeng i-round off yan. So, the usual rounding off will appear. And again, depending upon the instructions to you in problems or instruction ng teacher ninyo, kung ilang decimal places po yung mag-a-appear doon sa inyong computation. Okay, so that's how it works on the scientific calculator. So you need to input only the content of your parentheses, okay, which is 1.1, and then raise to, okay, either the exponent or even yung raise na icon, okay, and then negative 3. Do not forget the negative sign, guys, kasi pag 3 lang yung nilagay ninyo, iba yung magiging result. Okay, it's not 0.7513. Okay, are we clear on that? All right, very good. So that's if scientific calculator. Ngayon naman po, no, for those who are using naman the usual calculator, so let me just show you using the standard calculator concept. So as you can see here in my screen, I have the standard calculator, okay, which you can have as well. Okay, so we have the 1.10 ulit. Okay, so pindutin mo na rin sa calculator mo, 1.10. Okay? And then, dahil wala kang function kagaya ng scientific na raise to, no? Or even exponent dyan sa usual or standard calculator, what you need to do is pindutin mo yung divide na sign. Okay? So, in this case, just click 1, divide na sign. Okay? So, nasusundan mo ba ako? I hope na ginagawa mo rin yan. Okay? So, ito po yung mangyayari. Merong mga calculators, mapifigure out nyo yan kapag pinindot nyo na po yung calculator niyo or try nyo na sa calculator niyo yan, na yung period, okay? Yung period po, okay? May mga calculators na, di ba, 3 periods yung nasa problem natin. So pag pinindot nyo yung equal sign ng 3 times, okay, lalabas na yung 0.7513, which is the present value factor kanina. Okay, 3 beses. Pero, there are also some calculators wherein magpa-plus 1 ka. Okay? Nakadepende kasi yun. On my students, no, na-experience ko yun na mayroong mga kagaya nito, 3 beses lang pipindot, makukuha na nila yung present value factor. And then others, you need to put additional 1 na pindot doon sa equal sign so that you can derive the present value factor. Okay, so yun yung i-figure out nyo ngayon sa mga calculators ninyo kasi ako hindi ko rin naman sure kung along mga calculators yung typical na ganun yung nangyayari. Okay, pero dito sa standard calculator na meron ako sa screen, I will show you paano kasi ito ay pang-apat, no? I mean, there would be additional 1. Okay, so tignan natin. So di ba napindot ko na yung 1.1 and then yung divide na sign. Okay, I need to pindot, no? Konyo natin, no? I need na pindutin yung equal sign ng 4 times kasi this standard calculator in my laptop is actually representing yung kagaya nung mga standard calculator nyo na nag-a-add ng 1 para ma-compute yung present value factor. Okay, so pag tingin niyo, pag pinindot ko yung equal sign, it will go to 1. Okay, so nakaisa na ako. Tapos, 3 beses pa. Kasi 'di ba, nag-plus 1 ako dito. So 1, 2, 3. Okay? So as you can see na, we have 0.7513, which is the same with the scientific calculator and the present value table kanina. Okay? Pero pag yung calculator mo, pinindot mo ng 4 na beses at hindi 0.7513 yung lumabas, it's lower than that. or baka nag-appear na yung 0.7513 nung pangatlong pindot mo pa lang, ibig sabihin your calculator, your standard calculator, okay, will not have the same function na sinabi ko kanina na magpa-plus 1 ka. But rather, yung usual, no? Kung 3 yung periods na required sa problem, then 3 pindot ka lang. Okay? Pero itong nandito sa screen ko ngayon na pinapakita ko sa inyo, nag-plus 1 ako kasi ganun yung function nitong standard calculator na meron ako dito. Okay? So I hope na nasundan ninyo ha. So that's the present value factor natin, okay, using the single payment. Okay? So are we clear on that? Clarification or violent reaction, no, you can comment it on the comment box of this video. Okay, so that's our first example and I hope na nasundan po ninyo. Okay, so that's 0.7513 if we have the present value of single payment. Okay, so tiyagaan lang yan. Sir, paano yan kung 20 years yung hinahanap? O edi pipindutin mo siya lalo na sa mga hindi nakacycle, no? Pipindutin mo siya ng 20 times or 21 times depende sa calculator. So, ang isa pang pag-iingatan mo doon is pag nagbilang ka kasi dapat walang nakakadistorbo sa iyo, 'di ba? Pag binibilang mo, baka kasi nasa kalagitnaan ka na, naka 10 ka na, tapos may biglang kumausap sa iyong kaibigan mo, 'di ba? Kung ano na lang masabi mo, hindi mo na maalala kung nasaan ka. So, focus, no? Kagaya nito, maging single ka muna. Hindi, joke lang. Okay, single payment muna yung kukumputin natin na present value factor. Okay? So, any questions or violent reactions? I want to see your comments on the comment box. Okay? So that's for the present value of the single payment or lump sum or one, which we could use again for the single payment or one-time payment or collections of money. Okay? Or you can use this as well to the mixed streams or uneven cash flows. Okay? So now let's proceed with the second present value factor na pwede nating computein, which is the present value of an ordinary annuity. Okay. So kailan naman po natin gagamitin ang present value of an ordinary annuity na computation ng present value factor? So it is when we have, of course, annuity na kung saan the cash flows, inflows man yan or outflows, are equal every period. Okay? So nabanggit ko yan kanina sa inyo that the amount of cash flows should be equal to one period to another period so that we can use the annuity factor, which is the ordinary annuity kapag, okay, the particular cash flows occurs at the end of each period. Okay, so yun po yung time when we are going to use the ordinary annuity. Okay, equal yung cash flows and then the cash flows occurs at the end of each reporting period. Okay, so to show you how to compute and derive for the present value factor of an ordinary annuity, and to show you as well kung gaano ka-equal yung equal at saka end of the reporting period or each period, okay, here's our problem. Okay, so again, I will be showing you using the present value table and using the calculator. Okay, so assume that on January 1, 2020, Persona Limited sold a land of 450,000 to Love Yourself Company in exchange of a 600,000 3-year non-interest bearing note ulit. The note is collectible in equal installment every December 31, okay, starting December 31, 2020. Okay, so stop muna tayo doon. Okay, here's the clue bakit siya naging ordinary annuity. Una, okay, annuity muna. Pag sinabing annuity, it should be on equal amount. Tama ba? So magkano ulit yung value ng note natin? As mentioned in the problem, okay, it is 600,000. Okay? Then, sabi kanina, equal installment every December 31. E ilang years ba yon? 3 years. So we divide it by 3. Okay? So ilan po or magkano po yung equal installment na makukolekta, okay, ni Persona? So that would be 200,000. Okay? So that's referring now to the annuity. Kasi equal installment every period yung marireceive natin or every year. Okay, that's annuity already. Ngayon, kailan naman natin siya nasabing ordinary annuity? Can you see the detail in the problem? Ang sabi, kailan yung collection? Every December 31. kailan ba nag-start? January 1. Okay? So, January 1, okay? And then, nagkaroon po tayo ng collection on December 31. So what does it mean? Hindi ba? Pag ordinary annuity, sabi natin kanina, the cash flow is expected at the end of the reporting period or at the end of one period. So in that case, this refers to an ordinary annuity because from the start date, which is January 1, okay, the first installment happens at the end of the period then, which is December 31. So nakatapos na po ng isang period. And then after one period again, di ba? 12/31 ulit, December 31 ulit, the following period, and then the other period as well. So that's the cause and the reason why we are going to use here in this problem the present value factor of an ordinary annuity. Okay? So it's more on the details, guys. So pag binasa niyo yung problem, make sure to capture the detail. Okay? Annuity ba siya? Tignan mo kung may equal installment or equal amount ka na makikita. Okay, in the problem. Okay? Pero pag single lang, of course, yung kaninang lump sum yung gagamitin mo. Okay? And then pag equal yung installment, no, na-determine mo na annuity, the next question is, kailan magkakaroon ng cash flows? Is it after one period from the start date? Okay? If yes, then that's ordinary annuity. Kasi kapag at the beginning of each period yon, okay, which is kung January 1 yan, January 1 din nagkaroon ng flow, then mamaya gagamitin yung annuity due naman. Okay, so let's just focus first here on the ordinary annuity. Okay, we have equal installment at the end of one period. Okay, so using the present value table, again, we need kung ilang period, which is 3 years. And then to continue lang pala sa problem, ang sabi, the market interest rate was 10%. So yun ulit yung gagamitin natin. But take note guys, na ibang table na. Okay, pag nag-search kayo ng table doon sa mga books ninyo, you need to look for the present value of an ordinary annuity ha. Hindi na po pwedeng gamitin yung present value of one or present value of single amount. Okay, so here is now the present value table, okay, for an ordinary annuity. Okay, so again, you need to locate for the coordinate of the 10% interest rate and the 3 years period. Okay, kung saan po sila magbabangga, okay, doon po or yun po yung ating present value factor, which is, ayan, no? 2.4869. Alright, so that's the present value factor. Sir, bakit naging whole number na kanina decimal lang, di ba? 0.7513. Kasi nga po, every period yung marireceive mo dito sa ordinary annuity. So there would be expected, di ba, na 3 collections. Okay, samantalang kanina doon, 1 collection lang, which is ang reference natin is 1. Tama ba? So, ibig sabihin yung present value ng 1 na yon is lower than 1. Samantalang dito, kung 3 periods yan, okay, it should be lower than 3. Of course, that would be 2.4869. So, nakadepende talaga doon sa cash flow pattern mo kung ano yung magiging result na present value factor as stated to you a while ago. Okay, so sir, paano mo na i-compute yung present value nito kung ganun yung situation? So that would be already, no, yung 200,000. Kung gusto mo malaman magkano yung present value ng 600,000 mo for the next 3 years, okay, na i-compute mo ngayon on January 1, 2020, so your 200,000 times the present value factor mo, which is 2.4869. So magkano po yun? Sabay-sabay tayo ha, 200,000 times 2.4869. So that will be equal to 497,380. So yung value na marireceive mo na 200,000 for the next 3 years, okay, right now on January 1, ang value po nun is 497,380. Again, the value in the future, which is 600,000, is different from the value today, which is the reference point na January 1, 2020. As you can see, it is smaller kasi yung process natin na discounting is excluding yet the interests. Okay? So, any questions? You can comment that again on our chat box. So, remember ulit ha, yung PB factor natin, the 2.4869, kasi mamaya in the calculator, titignan natin kung parehas ba sila. Okay? So, 2.4869. Okay? Tandaan natin. So, proceeding with the discussion naman using the formula, okay, under the same problem pa rin. Okay, so meron po tayong formula to be used before we proceed with the calculation in our calculators. Okay, so the formula for the present value factor of an ordinary annuity is, okay, ito po, no? 1 minus 1 plus I raised to negative n. Sir, parang itong term na to is kanina, di ba? Nanggaling doon sa present value factor of 1. Yes, yan po yun, no? Yung 1 plus I, which is the interest rate, raised to the negative n, which is the period. Okay? So yan din po yun. Pero minus 1 na natin. Okay, then divided by I. Okay, the I again is your interest rate. So sa problem na to, again, we have 10% as the I, and the period is 3 years. Okay, so let's just substitute it bago tayo gumamit ng calculator. Okay, so that's 1 minus 1 plus 0.10 kasi 10%. Okay, raised to negative 3 all over 0.1. Sa scientific calculator, no, kung hawak niyo yung scientific calculator, pwede na ninyong i-input yan agad. Tama ba? Okay, dire-diretso, yun as is na ganyan. Okay, in the usual or standard calculator, medyo magpa-partition ka, uunahin mo muna yung itong term na to. Okay, pag nakuha mo yan, then saka ka magma-minus 1 and then divided by the I ulit. Okay, so medyo mas matrabaho lang yung standard calculator. Okay, so pakita ko po muna yung sa scientific calculator. Okay, and then we will have also the standard calculator. So burahin ko lang. Okay, actually, pwedeng hindi na. Hindi, sige. Mag-ano tayo. I-refresh natin. Baka nalimutan na ninyo. Okay, so sige. Anong unahin natin? Sige, scientific muna tayo. Okay. Yung scientific kasi dito medyo yung usual lang, no? Kaya if you have your own scientific calculator, pwede nyo nang i-input yung value kanina. Okay? Which is yung 1 minus 1 plus 0.10 raised to negative 3. Okay? So dito ang gagawin ko, papartition ko lang din para sure ako. Kasi yun yung problema ko dito sa laptop calculator. Okay? So we have 1.10 ulit. Okay? Raised to negative 3, di ba? So unahin ko muna yon. Okay, so that's yung present value natin kanina, which is 0.7513. So ito yung tatandaan nyo guys, huwag kayong magra-round off, okay, if you are not yet done with the final computation. So ang rounding off natin ngayon, starting the present value of an ordinary annuity, will happen after nyo nang makompute yung talagang pinaka-factor. Dito kasi, no, sa situation na to, kapag dito pa lang, nag-round off na kayo sa nasa inside na computation, maapektuhan na yung pinaka dulo, no? Are we clear on that? Okay, so by the way, ang kino-compute pala natin na present value factor na na-compute natin kanina using the table is 2.4869. So yun yung hahanapin natin. Dapat parehas tayo, okay, ng lalabas na value. Okay, so yan na po yun. And then, supposed to be 1 minus, no? Kasi itong scientific calculator ko dito, hindi siya kagaya nung hawak ninyong cycle na pwede kayong 1 minus the answer. Tama ba? Okay, so gagawin ko, ima-minus 1 ko na lang siya. Okay, so lalabas siya na negative 0.2486 blah blah blah. Okay, marami na, hindi ko nababasahin. Okay, pero sa inyo, positive yan. Tama ba? So kung sinusundan nyo ako, positive yung lalabas sa inyo na positive 0.248685. Okay, yun yung lalabas sa inyo positive. We just simply ignore na lang yung sign. We try to make it as absolute value. Okay, then saka mo i-divide yung I, which is divided by 0.1. Okay, so nakikita ninyo, ang lumabas na present value answer is 2.48685, which is pag ni-round off mo, kaparehas na siya nitong 2.4869 natin. Okay? So, ayan. So, yan po yung way ninyo. I hope na nakuha nyo rin po yung the same amount using your scientific calculator. Alright? So, that's the present value factor. Okay? How about naman sa standard calculator? So, using the standard calculator, okay? So, ito na po yung standard calculator. Okay? So, again, wala tayo exponent dito. So, again, 1.1. Then, pindutin yung divide na sign. Okay, dahil yung standard ko kanina, nag-plus 1 ako. So, 3 periods pa rin, plus 1, di 4 na ako. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, nakuha ko na yung 0.7513148. Okay, then, deduct ko yung 1. Okay, so yan yung numerator. Then, divided by 0.1 or 0.1. Okay, kung gusto nyo lagyan ng 0 para 0.10 or 10. Okay, okay lang. So click the the equal sign. So lalabas ulit negative, but just simply ignore the sign. Expect mo na lang na absolute value yan. Okay, so that will also be 2.48685, which is pag ni-round off natin, equal din siya pa rin doon sa nasa table kanina na 2.4869. Okay? So I hope na nasundan po ako ng mga naka-standard calculator. Okay, so that's how we compute for the present value factor of an ordinary annuity. Okay? That will be used if equal yung cash flows and the that particular outflow will happen at the end of one period. Okay? So, again, if you have questions, just comment it on our comment box. Okay? So, we are now down to our last na cash flow pattern and its present value factor computation. So, it is naman known as the present value of an annuity due. So, as mentioned to you a while ago, okay, this annuity due, okay, is referring to the cash flow pa rin na equal, okay, every period kasi annuity pa rin, but it is considered as an annuity due since we are expecting the cash flow that will occur at the beginning of each period rather than the end of the period. Kanina in the ordinary annuity, at the end of the period. While here in the annuity due, at the beginning of the period, okay, and you're going to discount it back, okay, one less year than the ordinary annuity. Okay, so parang ang nangyari dyan, let's say for example, this is 0.0, kagaya dun sa example natin kanina, 2 and 3, okay, so yung kanina sa ordinary annuity, the cash flows will happen at the end of year 1, end of year 2, end of year 3. Pero in this annuity due, ang cash flows natin will happen since beginning, ang sabi dito, di ba? So it will start at 0.0, then 1, at saka 2. Okay? So tatlong period pa rin, tatlong cash flow pa rin, okay, na equal. But as you can see the differences, yung isa, magkakaiba, no? Mag-start ka sa end ng year 1, 2, and 3. Samantalang naman itong nasa baba, which is referring to the annuity due, will happen already at the start pa lang, which is 0.0. So pag kinompute natin yung present value niyan, if we're going to put it in the timeline, okay, di ba yung 0.0, hindi mo na kailangang i-present value yan. Kaya sinabi nga dito na it is one less year, okay, in computing the annuity due compared with the ordinary annuity. Okay? As you can see, no, isa, dalawa na lang yung i-present value mo. Samantalang sa ordinary annuity kanina, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So yun yung pinagkaiba ng ordinary annuity sa annuity due kasi we are computing for the point of reference na year 0 or period 0. Okay? And if it is annuity due at the beginning of each period rather than at the end of the period. Okay, so ano po yung mangyayari ngayon dito sa ating computation? So let's find out. Okay, ano yung pinagkaiba niya with the ordinary annuity. Okay, so let's start first with the present value table. Okay, so medyo iba na yung problem natin. Okay. So BTS company wants to purchase a land and building after a couple of years. The target land and building value is 3 million. Okay, so that's the future value. Then they decide to invest in a product where he can deposit yearly at 600,000 starting the beginning of each year until year 10. So ang nangyari po dito no sa problem ng BTS company, okay? Una muna determine that it is an annuity due, okay? So we are expecting to pay or to have an amount of 3 million, okay? But we are to deposit every year 600,000. So doon pumapasok kayo yung annuity na every year we have 600,000 na i-deposit, okay, to accumulate the 3 million na tina-target natin or more, okay? And then that would happen for the next 10 years. Okay? Pero yung clue mo na naging annuity due siya, it's because of this beginning of each year. Okay? So yun po yung reason bakit siya naging annuity due. Kasi sinabi that beginning of each year until year 10. Okay? So ibig sabihin, if this is the timeline, no? Hindi ko nabubuo yung timeline, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 10th year. Okay, so the outflow here, okay, yung deposit natin will begin on 0.0. So ngayon pa lang, no, na nag-decide na tayo, okay, let's start it. Okay, so meron na tayong 600,000 na ilalabas agad. Then first year, second year, third year. So magbilang ka ng 10 deposit na tigsi 600,000 and that's where we are going to have already the value, no, na annuity due. So 10 period pa rin. Okay, pero you will start already the outflow of your deposit, okay, at the point of reference na start date mo ng deposit, which is your year or period 0. Okay, so assume that the rate earned on the investment is 12%. So this is now your interest rate to be used in the discounting, 12%. Okay, so using the present value table, okay, let's find again the coordinates. So again, you need to look for the present value table for an for an annuity due, guys, for an annuity due. Okay? Kasi nasa likod naman yun, tatlo yun eh. Single payment, ordinary, at saka annuity due, present value factor table. Okay, so we need to locate the interest rate, which is 12% rather. Okay? Then ilang years? 10 years. Okay, find the coordinates. Okay, so the coordinate now will fall under 6.3282. Okay, so that's now our present value factor. Okay, 6.3282. Sir, bakit lower than 10 na naman siya? Kasi nga po, it's computing the present value. Okay, so your 10 na payment mo or deposit mo, okay, when you compute the present value right now, okay, is lower than the 10 na periods. Okay? So that's 6.3282. Okay, kung gusto mo malaman magkano yung present value nung lahat ng i-deposit mo, so that's actually 600,000, okay, which is your amount that you are expecting to deposit every year, okay, at the beginning of each year times 6.3282. Okay? So, if you're going to compute, ang value ngayon ng lahat ng i-deposit mo, okay, is 600,000 times 6.3282. So, that would be 3,796,920. Okay? So, yan yung present value ngayon. Okay, if you want to know. Sir, mas mataas siya dun sa 3 million. Okay lang naman yun kasi it's the discretion of the entity that they want to invest 600,000 yearly. Okay, baka may iba pang pinag-iipunan. Okay, so are we clear on that? Of course, after 10 years then, that value might increase as well. Diba? Okay, so tandaan nyo to, the 6.3282 should be the same mamaya in our calculator computation. Okay? So, if you have questions, please let me know lang po, okay, in the comment box. Okay, so now let's proceed with the formula naman. Okay, using the same problem, 10-year, okay, which will be an outflow of deposit yearly, okay, at the beginning of each year, okay, for the next 10 periods, and your interest rate is 12%. Okay, so sa formula po natin, ito yung magiging formula. It's just like the ordinary annuity formula, but for the N ninyo, okay, magma-minus 1 tayo. Okay, so the n kanina is 10, di ba? So you will deduct 1 dahil na rin po sa sinabi natin kanina that in annuity due, no, it is 1 less doon sa particular periods kasi nga po nagkaroon tayo ng outflow or even inflow depending upon your problems in the future, no? Okay, at the start of that particular na range ng time natin. Okay, so at 0.0 meron na agad cash flows. Okay, kaya binabawasan natin siya ng 1. Okay, then you just simply divide it at I, okay, the interest rate ulit. Then nagpa-plus 1 po tayo kasi yung 1 na yon representing already the value at reference 0. So di ba yung reference 0 kung meron man cash flow dyan, that's already the present value. No need for you to compute the present value of such. Okay? So if you're going to substitute the value here, okay, in the problem of BTS company, so that would be 1 minus the quantity of 1 plus 12% or 0.12, okay, raised to negative 10, which is the number of years na nasa problem ni BTS company. Okay, then just simply minus 1, okay, all over 0.12. Okay, which is the I or the interest, then plus 1. Sa scientific calculator ulit, no, you can simply input these values immediately, okay, without any problem. Okay, pero let's find out kung paparehas ba siya doon sa ating present value factor kanina, okay, using the table which is we have the 6.3282. Okay? So, tignan natin. So, first, using the scientific calculator muna. Okay? So, burahin ko lang. Okay. So, for the scientific calculator, okay, so unahin muna ulit natin yung term na ito, no? The quantity of 1.12 raised to, okay, 10 minus 1. So that's 9 already. So simplify mo na lang sa utak mo. Alam ko naman kayang-kaya mo yan, di ba? So that's already raised to 9. So mangyari, you have 1.12. Okay? Then hanapin mo exponent or yung naka-raise na function. Okay? And then 9 na lang. Tama? Bakit 9? Kasi 10 minus 1. So that's already negative 9 supposed to be. Okay, so ano po yung value nun? Okay, so that's 0.36061002 and others. No, again, do not round it off. Okay, again, that's 1.12 raised to negative 9 para doon sa quantity. Okay, na may exponent. Then on your calculator, no, if you are using scientific, that's 1 minus answer na lang ang pipindutin ninyo, or dito kasi sa scientific ko, walang ganon. So, i-minus ko lang po siya ng 1. Okay, and again, we are just going to ignore the sign. Assume that it is absolute. So, lumalabas na yung numerator natin is 0.063938997 and others. Okay, then you divide it with the denominator. Okay, pindutin ko yung divide. Okay, which is 0.12. Okay, so lalabas ngayon, okay, the quotient is 5.328249. Okay, then do not forget na may plus 1 pa tayo. So plus 1. Okay, sorry. Dahil negative nga pala yung value nun, okay, dapat gawin kong positive. So saglit lang mga kapatid. Okay, so ang problema ko kasi, pag iniwan ko siya na negative, negative plus 1, so mababawasan siya lalo. Okay? So, ayan. Naging 5.3282. Sa mga scientific calculator nyo, kayang-kaya niyan, di ba? Okay? And then, plus 1. Okay? So, lalabas ngayon na ang present value factor mo, if you use the scientific calculator, is 6.3282, which is parehas ba sa kanina? Ayan, very good. So that's 6.3282. Okay? So I hope na nasundan ninyo ha. Medyo complicated lang kasi naka-laptop ako, pero sa inyong mga naka-scientific calculator, okay, you can use that functions in your calculator immediately. Okay? So that's if we use the scientific calculators. How about naman po, okay, the usual calculator. Okay, the standard calculator. So tignan natin, okay? So ano yung gagawin natin? Okay, so unahin muna natin yung nasa term, okay, or nasa numerator na binilugan ko kanina, which is 1 plus 0.12 raised to negative 9 pa rin. Okay, so ilang pindot ako dito ngayon kung negative 9 yon? 10 kasi nagpa-plus 1 ako, di ba? Sa mga hindi nagpa-plus 1, 9 na beses yung equal sign. Okay, so 1.12. Okay, pindot ng divide. So hinga ng malalim. Okay, 10 pindot ako. Sa iba sa inyo, 9 lang. Okay, kasi yun yung function ng calculus ninyo. Okay, so bilangin natin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ay, 9. Okay? Then, tama ba ako? 10, di ba? Plus isa pa. 10. Okay? Bilangin ko nga. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ayan, yung kagandahan dito sa nasa laptop ko is because it has history, no? Okay? So, ayan. Then, do not forget na mag-minus 1 ka. So, minus 1. Okay? Then, divided by the interest rate, which is 12%. Okay, divided by 0.12. Okay, so lalabas si negative 5.3282. Okay, then tanggalin ko lang ulit yung negative sign kasi magpa-plus tayo. Okay, so naging positive na siya, 5.3282. Okay, then plus 1. Okay, so ayan, no? The present value here is 6.3282 rin, which is equal doon sa nasa table kanina. So ayun, medyo tiyagaan lang, no? So yung pagbibilang ko, actually, muntikan na akong makalimot kasi yung pagpindot doon sa equal sign, okay, is you need to recall the number of times na pinindot mo siya. So, I know your feeling, lalo na sa mga naka-standard calculator. Sa cycle kasi medyo mas convenient sa atin, but as you all know, in the board exam, you will be using standard calculator, so why not practice them already? Okay? So, that's how we compute for the present value of an ordinary annuity. Okay? So, again, if you do have questions, please let me know on the comment box. Okay? So, actually, natapos na natin lahat ng computations, no? Depende sa cash flows. It's single payment. Okay, it should be less than 1. Okay, yung PB factor. Then you have the present value of ordinary annuity. So equal yung ating payment or collections. Okay, but it happens at the end of the period, while an annuity due naman, okay, is equal din po yung collections or even payments, no? But it happens at the beginning of each period. Okay? So, before I end this discussion, I hope na nakikinig pa kayo, no? Before I end this, no, I just want to share as well, paano kung yung compounding ng interests, no, is not annually. Kasi kanina, from the start up to this annuity due, ang in-expect natin every year lang yung cash flows. Okay, but in some cases, of course, no, it could be happening on the compounding na less than 1 year. So mas frequent pa siya. Okay, than 1 year. It could either be monthly, quarterly, or semi-annually. So kapag semi-annually, as you all know, the compounding will happen 2 times, no, in a year. Okay, so yung kanina na 10 years on the previous problem, kung naka-semi-annual yon, ilang beses ka magko-compound? Ilang semi-annual meron sa 10 years? That's actually 20 times. Tama ba? 20 semi-annual. Okay, so in that case, of course, your interest rates would be turning into half kasi yung interest rate na binigay sa inyo is good for 1 year. So kung binigay sa inyo 10% for 1 year and you're compounding it semi-annual, so just simply divide it by 2. So every period, okay, in the semi-annual na yun, okay, would be 5%. So ganun po yung mangyari, no, kapag meron kayong semi-annual. Okay, compounding. And the number of periods nyo naman, nabanggit ko na kanina to, if ever man na meron kayong 10 years, for example, okay, at ilang compounding yon, 2 kasi semi-annual, then that would be 20 periods. Okay? So, ganun yung pagkakaiba if not 1 year or annually yung compounding but rather frequently than annually. Makikita nyo naman sa problem yun eh. Sasabihin sa inyo na annually o kaya naman may dalawang date kayo na makikita. So malamang that's semi-annual. Okay? On the other hand as well, you can have quarterly naman compounding wherein your interest will be compounded 4 times in a year, diba? Kasi you have 4 quarters in a year. Okay? So ang mangyari dito pag 4 quarters in a year, okay, so sa example ko kanina dito sa taas, no? Burahin ko lang po. So, yung interest rate mo na pang 1 year, you will transform it into what? Quarters. So, kasi 4 times yung compounding. So, that 10% as an example divided by 4, okay, ilan ang interest rate per quarter? So, that would be 2.5. Tama ba? Percent. Tapos yung years naman times 4. So ilang quarters meron ka sa 10 years. So that's actually ilan? Okay, 40 years, no? Naku, Diyos ko, yung kamay ninyo, 40 periods yung meron kayo. Kamay nyo, pag nag-present value factor kayo using the usual or standard calculator, medyo mapapaltos at saka yung utak ninyo kasi magbibilang kayo ng 40 periods. So, this is just an example lang naman. Okay? And then, aside from quarterly, pwede rin po tayo magkaroon ng monthly compounding. Ito, no? Matindi, no? You are going to compound it 12 times in a year. So what will happen there is your interest is also 1/12. Okay? So what will happen here is, of course, burahin ko, instead na 4 yung i-divide ko, of course, you will be dividing it by 12. No? Kasi nga po, or even multiplying it by 12, kasi nga po, monthly tayo. Okay, Diyos ko, wala naman. Meron naman mga daily, pero don't worry, yung mga daily naman na compounding is they're also already using Excel sheets na or kaya naman programs, no, to compute on that. Okay, so 10% divided by 12 kasi in a year we have 12 months. So ilan kaya yun? 10% divided by 12. Okay? So that's actually, kung titignan mo, ang interest rate mo is 0.833. Okay? Percent. So less than 1. Okay? And then for the years, or for the period times 12, so you have 120 period, no? In my example lang naman, don't worry. Okay, so ganun po yung mangyayari if you have compounding interest, no, frequently. So kung table yon, okay, yung interest rate, titignan mo dun sa taas, and then ilang periods po yun. Okay? Or even in the calculators, okay, kung ilang periods po yun, then even the interest rate, yun po yung gagamitin natin. So let me end this by sharing to you yung formula kapag compounding interest rate, okay, frequently than annually, yung mangyayari. Actually, yung present value factor formula are the same, no? Ang mangyayari lang, yung interest rate mo, okay, will be divided, as mentioned to you a while ago, yung interest rate na pang 1 year, okay, annually to, i-divide mo siya with the frequency. So kung quarterly, divided by 4, kung monthly, divided by 12, kung semi-annual, divided by 2. Okay, while for your period naman, okay, yung N mo, which is the number of years, okay, i-multiplied mo sa compounding time. So times 4 kapag quarterly, times 12 pag monthly, and even times 2 kapag semi-annually. Okay, and then after that, kung ano yung makompute mo na interest rate at saka yung periods, okay, which is yung I ninyo, at saka yung N ninyo, yun na yung gagamitin ninyo ngayon doon sa mga na-discuss kanina na way how to compute for the present value factors using ordinary annuity, annuity due, o kaya naman single payment or for mixed streams. Okay? So that's it. So if you have questions again related to how to compute for the present value factors, okay, please let me know on the comment portion. Okay, so I hope na may natutunan po kayo sa ating video discussion ngayon. And ayan, maraming salamat po sa pag-attend at panonood nito. And have a great day everyone. Okay, sayonara and kamsahamnida. Bye-bye.